Well, hey everybody, I'm Louis Amisto with HS Game Time Live, and I'm now joined by Miriam Swanson to talk about girls and boys soccer. We're into the semifinals, and the finals are approaching, and we've got some interesting local matchups. Let's talk about King first off, and they're playing at Claremont. What do you know about the King Wolves on the boys' side? A big win last week as well, right?
A couple big wins last week. They knocked off the top seed, Mission Viejo, at home.
Right.
Which is the first time in program history that they knocked off a top seed, but that was quite an exciting game. And then they came back and beat a very talented Temecula Great Oak team, 3-0 on Friday to advance to the semifinals for the third time in school history.
Now, you were all excited about this the other day when they said, "Oh, King Great Oak." You were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to be there, or I have to see this match." It turns out being 3-0. I mean, not close really. Is that sort of surprising, not surprising, or?
Yeah, no, definitely surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, Great Oak won the Southwestern League, and very talented, very skilled team, but King is just playing very well right now. They've got a couple of young kids up top, Josue Soto and Ricardo, whose last name I'm forgetting, but they're both just like freshman and sophomore, left-footed studs. And then in the back, they've got 13 guys who've played soccer together since they were little kids. They're this crazy, cohesive, hardworking unit, and I don't know, they're pretty good.
Right. Let's talk about on the other boys' game of the day, basically one involving two Riverside County programs from the same league. Citrus Hill playing Beaumont. Beaumont's never been this deep into the boys side of things. That should be an interesting matchup as well. I think did you talk to Tim about this one?
Yeah.
Tim Dutton?
Yeah, Tim knows more about this than I do, but I know it's a big Mountain Pass League rivalry, so that will be fun. I know that Sergio Paz, the goalkeeper for Citrus, has like 3 shutouts in a row, I believe, so obviously he's doing something right. So that'll be a test for Beaumont, who obviously, like you said, is in uncharted waters, but
I think they both are kind of in uncharted waters, it sounds like, too.
Yeah.
It was sort of ruined, though, because we could have had a chance for an all-Riverside County final with Rubidoux and San Jacinto, but they both lost in the quarters, unfortunately, so as well. All right, on to the girls' side of things, in the Division 6, Hemet, they're playing host to San Dimas. Hemet's had, like, basically home field advantage
the whole way.
the whole way through.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, we're part of the championship volleyball team, and they're both
two of their stars. So there's 4 girls on their team. Yeah.
Right, Rosie Robinson and Tristan Self, right?
Yeah, and also Jennifer Gordon, who is probably the the glue that holds both of those teams together.
Teams, right.
Yeah.
So it's a team that's already had some championship experience as well. What are they saying right now?
I think those girls have really rubbed off on the rest of the girls on that team, and I think they think, hey, if we can do it in volleyball, we can do it in soccer. It was really fun in volleyball. The soccer players who know all those girls and are friends with those girls are like, well, we won a title too. So I think they're really focused on getting that title. Right,
and I believe this is one of Hemet's deepest runs into the semis on the girls' side in quite some time. And this
it happened once before, apparently.
Right, yeah. And I believe in the 1990s when they had Coralie Simmons, they ran into the semis once before. All right. Rim of the World is going to play Sierra Canyon. That's going to be at Chatsworth High School, or
at, where does that say? At Granada Hills High School.
Granada Hills. Okay. Oh, Granada Hills High School. Right. And Rim of the World 16-7-4. They beat Viewpoint 4-1 in the quarters. So Rim of the World. What's the idea there with Rim?
Rim has some really good players. They've got some pretty elite girls on that little school from up the hill there.
Right.
They played. Their league this year didn't test them whatsoever. So before league started, they played one of maybe the toughest non-league schedule of any of our teams in this area, and they took their lumps. But now they're getting the playoffs and they're rolling through the playoffs. So we'll see. They feel good.
Canyon Springs into the semifinals for the first time in a number of years as well. As we mentioned, the situation with Hemet. They beat Chino 3-2 in the quarterfinals. They will now play at South Torrance High School, which is 19-5-4, but Canyon Springs 23-1-4 overall.
I like this team. I've seen them 3 times, and every time I watch them, I kind of appreciate them more. They have 11 seniors. They kind of not coach themselves, because their coach, he directs and stuff, but he trusts these girls to kind of carry themselves, and then they have just some dynamic girls that are really fun to watch. Midfielder Alexa Bustamante is a legit player. She can do just anything she wants, basically. And then Crystal Lopez up top is a petite forward, who is kind of the example of if you play with your head and your heart and you play really, what can happen? So 36 goals, 9 assists for her. And
Canyon Springs is one of only two teams, two seeded teams left in this tournament. They're the 3 seed, and Oaks Christian, the number 1 seed, playing in the other semifinal against Don Lugo out of Chino. Don Lugo beat the number 4 seed Torrance in the second round, 2-1. So it'll be interesting to see Canyon Springs, and I think this is what their first run to the semis. I think they won maybe a title in
'96.
Yeah, so it's been a few years for them as well.
Before I was here, but yeah.
Right. Before you were here, yes. So interesting matchups we'll see on the girls' side. Anything else we should follow on the boys' side?
Fontana is also playing.
Right.
They've won several CBL titles in a row, but been knocked out in the first round the last 3 years, I think. And this year, here they are in the semis. So they've got some experience and they're ready to make a go of it. Good
to see. Well, and we will have a complete coverage on PE.com throughout the week, and we'll also have some video coverage, most likely from the Citrus Hill Beaumont game, and maybe a few others as well. For Miriam Swanson, I'm Louis Amestoy with the Press Enterprise and PE.com.